What's going on, and welcome to Black King's Free Game. And we are here today with someone special that's known me since I was an itty bitty tyke. I'm talking about I was smaller than what Mitch is right now. I'm talking about I've always been big, but she's known me when I was crawling. And it is the Honorable the Honorable Rear Admiral Dr. Annie Andrews.
Woo, that's a lot of titles.
You know, I had to get it right. Everyone, you're gonna hear me say Auntie because that's just how I feel. I'm sorry. That's who she is to me. So, Auntie, Rear Admiral.
Yes.
We are gathered here today to honor such a wonderful person. And I'm so ecstatic. I've been ecstatic since the day that I found out she accepted. I had to tell Mitch, and Mitch like, yo, calm down. This is the same. Okay, I got you. Yeah, she's wonderful. She spoke at our event. That's how he talked. He spoke at our event. You know what I'm saying, son?
You forgot the son. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't forget it. But hey, we start off every show, Auntie, with how your week was. Now, I know that your week is deeper than most, but how was your week this week?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. It is certainly great to be here, and my week is going terrific.
Wonderful.
It was, you're talking about, we just had honoring those that from Memorial Day, and we don't forget about those that have went on before us and paved the road for us and those. And then, of course, we had a wonderful food to eat each and every time.
I know that's right.
And when you look at today, the weather is just beautiful. It's nice. It's not too hot. It's not too humid. It's just great. So my day is going well.
Wonderful. King Boston, how was your week, sir?
My week was productive and profitable, all of which are good in business. To echo what Rear Admiral said, the weather has been just fantastic, and it was a short week because of Memorial holiday, but the weekend is here. I'm grateful to be off and just to be here, so it's been beautiful.
I know that's right. I'm happy to be here too because this weekend was hot. This week was hot, period.
Yeah,
I don't like the heat like that.
It ain't been that bad though.
See, I like it when lighter people say that and they skinny. See, it's a difference because you don't sweat where I sweat, bro.
Yeah, I need you to understand that. That's TMI.
Look, we're here today because we are wanting to honor in the best way possible on the Black Kings Free Game, Rear Admiral Dr. Annie Andrews, Queen. The biggest queen you ever seen thus far. You feel me?
Right.
So, a question that I would have to ask is, what are some of your personal triumphs?
Thank you so much. Well, let me just start off saying that again, I'm so glad to be here.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I really appreciate your patience too, because I know we've been trying for a while. And why this week was also so great because I didn't have to travel as much as I usually do.
Okay.
But what keeps me going and the triumph is just being here each and every day. And although I appreciate all those titles, but I'll tell you the best title is being a child of God.
Amen.
That's the best title because I know for many things I wouldn't have today if it wasn't for Him.
Yes.
Right.
So the things that keep me triumph is just trying to do my best each and every day. How I can serve the community, how I can serve my country, how I can give back is what it's all about.
Okay.
Now, I know you're from here.
Yes.
Hallelujah. What are some of the things that you remember growing up about Liberty County that were impactful in your life?
Well, yes, and I'm certainly from a town here not very far away, right here in Midway. Originally from Midway, I also lived in Fleming and, of course, went to school there up to about 7th grade before I moved and went up north in Philadelphia. But I'll tell you, some of the things I remember is that the community, how everybody was family. You can go to someone's house. You didn't have to worry about locking your doors. People were right there for you. And I do remember it wasn't as big as it is now going into Hinesville.
Right.
The best thing for us was actually we knew that there was always a, let's say, Dairy Queen
Right.
So with the Dairy Queen, that was a treat. When you can drive about 20 miles from Midway and get to Hinesville, that was great. So that I do remember. Also, traffic lights. I remember just one traffic light. That's if you find that. So it was all really great.
So where was the traffic light when the one that you're referring
Mitch
to?
got jokes.
That was all
I
the
need to know.
way. I remember the caution light actually in Midway, and that's before you turn on, 17.
Okay.
And the major light was really not until you got to Hinesville.
Oh, wow.
But everything else is country roads. But what I remember so much is good people growing up, the giving, the church family, the community, and how everybody was looking out for everybody else's kids,
Yes. Right.
especially in school.
Okay.
I know that's right, because even as me as an 80s baby, I couldn't get home without my daddy or my mama knowing. And then when my mama found out, I'm begging her, please don't tell daddy, just let me go. Please, mama. Please, mama. And by the time my daddy got home, he already knew.
He already
anyway.
knew.
And this was before cell phones, y'all.
Yes.
So yes, the community was a lot. It was tight knit. It was a village raised as a child, and I see that we're getting away from that. That comes up a lot. Then when you ask people about their upbringing and how things were, and I really want to get back to that. I want to get back to us trusting us. Us trusting us to make the right call when we see each other's kids out there, when we see them doing wrong, and us correcting each other without it being an issue.
Do you think that's possible?
I really do. You know why? Because of Midway Congregational Church. I'm gonna be straight up.
Okay.
Right now, we're not big as numbers as some of these other churches, right? But the family and the village raised a child has always been there, and it will continue to be there. Even in my kids' life, they're dancers. They grew up in the praise dancing, which a lot of other folks would say, well, they don't listen to type of music, but my daughters were bad. You hear me? They are bad. And they can get back together and dance just like that. And that was built in that village church.
Yes.
That was built in that village church. And I remember Andrews being, Dr. Ramro and Andrews.
That's a mouthful.
Look, right? That's an accomplishment.
It is.
And I'm so honored and I'm so blessed for you to be here. Try not to blush on camera, but I can't help it. But when you talk about that village raises a child, I know you have a nephew.
Yes.
His name is D'Angelo
Absolutely.
Dawson. DJ Fiji boy is what they call him. So look, and I mean he's really good, but you're an inspiration to him.
Yes.
You really are. And a lot more people.
Right.
So before we even get started, you know what I think? I think that people should hear about you from D'Angelo and also what you mean to him. So I'm gonna ask my engineer right now to go ahead and pull that up for me.
I want to start this off by thanking my auntie for being a motivator to me, to push me to be the greatest me I can be, and also striving for greatness in all that I do. My auntie is also a motivator, and she also is very caring and giving out to the community. And those values still run strong through me and in my family and through the community as well. I want to thank you for that, auntie. But we're talking about my auntie here. So there is a big elephant in the room that needs to be addressed. And that elephant is she's not a good cooker. I love her to death, but when it comes to fried chicken, mac and cheese, salmon, you might want to hand that off to my mom. But when it comes to a sandwich, she'll hold it down on that part. Ham and cheese sandwich, turkey and cheese sandwich, whatever you need. The sandwich, that's my auntie's forte. But with that being said, though, I love you, auntie, and keep being the best you can be.
In my house, so when he talks.
Look.
But I'll tell you, he certainly has my heart.
Oh wow.
He has my heart. It's my nephew. He's to every event. He's been to everything and major in my life, and it keeps me humble as well.
Yes.
And that's what's really so special. And my thing is that to see him and many young people just grow, take on the next thing, because there's nothing but opportunities out there. if you put your faith and your foot forward,
Yes.
it'll come your way.
You're right about that. And it's just the way he talks about you, though. I got to be real. He talks about his mother, but when you can talk about your auntie in such a divine way, and I know that he takes your correction because she puts correction in there, and I know that she would label herself as, oh, I spoil him because I love him, but you spoil him because he's doing the things he's supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Even outside of the norm. I mean, he's into DJing, he's doing weddings, but he's doing it the way you're supposed to. I mean, he puts a lot of effort in there, and he has told me personally a lot of that you've instilled along with his mother about the way that he should go about any direction.
Yes, and that's all we want, as aunts or grandparents or those that are mothers. All you want is the best for the next generation, to give them
Yes.
that opportunity.
Absolutely.
And when you see them flourish, sometimes you may not see the right there in your home or in the place, but when you hear from so many people in the community or places where he is and how he's doing, then you know that you have trained up a child the way that he or she should go. And when they flourish and go out in the community, all of those good things will come back. So I wish him, and really young people are important to me because they are our future. They are the best resources. And when we're talking about getting back into the community and getting back into the home, I know so much have changed. I can tell you it's about education, first of all, because I can sit here today and name every last one of my teachers from 1st to 7th grade here in Liberty County that
Wow.
have been so influential for me. Now, don't ask me after that. I mean, for 8th grade of high school in Philadelphia, that's a different story.
Right.
But I can tell you, because it was just, I don't care if it was like one kid or 20 or 25 in the class. You know your teacher, they knew you, and they certainly knew your parents. So it was just a great opportunity. And I'll tell you, you teach them very early on in life,
Right.
and they won't forget it. Some may stray, but they'll come back to what they know. And that's what's so great and important about being that role model or being the influencer in lives.
Right.
Not
Yes.
only for your own, but even for others.
You're right. Because it's a lot of influential people. Go ahead. I know you were going to talk about some of the Wu-Tang members in New York that influential to you.
No, I was actually curious as to, well, for one, I know that you were in the Navy,
Yes.
and growing up in a town that was predominantly Army, what inspired you to go into the Navy as the branch?
Don't be trying her. Don't be trying her.
Well, it's certainly interesting you said that. That's right. Being just miles from Fort Stewart, you would think that, wow, I may go Army. But remember, when you're young and when you're, 20 years old or 22 years old, you're thinking, whoa, I can't wait to leave this place.
Right.
And explore and do things different. So when I first came in the Navy, they had a mantra was, join the Navy, see the world.
Okay.
But where they sent me to, Florida, I said, that's no world. I can
She went to Disney right up the
street.
I can walk to Florida. I'm thinking about they're going to send me all these places, like, when they advertise, they're going to send, but that's okay. Because from Florida, then I went to Hawaii, then to Iceland, and many other wonderful places. But when you said that, it was through college. So when I graduated from Savannah State, and at the time, I noticed that, they had the ROTC program. So they had the Navy and they had the Marine Corps. We all, worked close together. Later on, they brought in the Army. So I would see the kids while I'm in class. Seemed like when they're in uniforms on those Thursdays when they would have drill day,
Clean.
they are sharp, they are ready, they are disciplined, they are regimented. I said, oh, I can do that. Because again, growing up how I did, you were disciplined and regimented anyway.
Right.
So
Yes.
I'll tell you, going in the military for me was much easier.
Okay.
Because around my mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, that was a chain of command all by itself.
I bet.
So going in the military was pretty easy.
Having all those influential people in your lives. What? Oh, speaking of that, you said Iceland.
Yes.
Ooh, y'all, I got a story. So, with you being in the Navy,
Yes.
you going from Florida to Hawaii and then Iceland. Now, among your travels, Did you ever expect to see somebody else from Liberty County that was already there?
Not at all. No, because most of the places I've gone, you're the only one you don't know, but you get the chance to meet people. But however, when I landed in Iceland, I will tell you, it was in April of probably about 90. And of course, the kids there were doing the Eastern American kids. And what they had was colored eggs buried in the snow. And you really could see them, really.
Oh,
but,
okay. When she said colored, I was like, colored.
So they celebrate
colored eggs
in
colored
Iceland?
eggs in Iceland, because
wow.
again, you have the American kids there.
Right,
so you
right.
still try to do apparently some of the traditions.
Gotcha.
But when I landed there, little did I know that I would run into another person from Liberty County in the name of Mrs. Deborah Robinson.
Yes.
And Miss Robinson, who today is 94 years old.
Wow.
So back then, it was probably about in her 60s, and I thought it was so neat for someone of her age and caliber and musical abilities to at least go to Iceland and to be there, because she was a part of the DoD schools.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was great that she was there. You felt like, oh, wow, I have someone here that I know, because that's a very cold place.
I bet.
I mean, it's a very cold place. And one of my jobs, believe it or not, they made me, beautification officer. I said as a part-time thing, as junior officers. I said beautification to plant trees in Iceland. I'm like, what in the world? I said, I know that I'm supposed to be challenged with something, but this is not working out.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was great to have someone there that especially someone from my own church, and just a really role model in the community.
So did you get the trees to grow in Iceland?
No, I didn't stay there long enough. I'm not
She
sure.
planted the seed that could potentially grow.
Yeah, they should have let me just planted rocks, because that's definitely what could continue there. But it was really a nice assignment,
Right.
But I must tell you, a lot of people came to see me when I was in Hawaii.
Okay.
But I didn't get one visitor when I went to Iceland.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that something?
Look,
Yeah,
I wonder why.
I don't even know what Iceland is on the map,
Look.
at all.
It's right above. Don't go there.
right, that's close enough.
So I know Miss Robinson, like you said, she's 94
Yes.
years old. So is there any mischievous times to where Miss Robinson didn't know? Maybe she got a knock on the door and
Yes, okay, I'll report on myself.
Yes,
But remember,
please.
I was young then. Very young junior officer, okay? Not as I rose
Put the
in rank.
disclaimer out there.
And,
disclaimer.
got to put it there too. We all do our things.
Right.
Yes.
But we would be in what is known as like the BOQ rooms,
Okay.
And we would go there, and she would always just be there. And of course, just because of her age difference and stuff, I just wanted to let her know that I was around. So I would go and just knock on her door and then disappear, run back, to my room and waited, because I can hear when the door opens. She probably knew it was me. I'm sure she was.
Well, now she does.
But yes, now she does. But I'll tell you one thing that is really great that I say, regardless of where I went, whether it was Iceland or in the Philippines or in the Netherlands, that there are two things to me that are a common language, and that's a smile and music.
Right.
And both of those things, I think, are just really great. You can't get away with someone smiling. That says something really great. And music, and that was one thing I believe Ms. Robinson and myself and many others enjoyed so much, because I enjoyed singing. They had the opportunity to sing with an all Icelandic choir.
Oh, wow.
That's a long story that can go forever and a day. But I will tell you, it just, music just makes a difference. So then, regardless of what. Now, understand, I was the only person looking like me of color that was singing there. So I don't know if they thought I was, in those days with Jerry Curl, Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, whatever the case may be.
Did you have a Jerry curl?
At that time.
Did it freeze up? Like, were you out there like,
Yeah, some days you would think that it would have. But when being out there, and I will tell you, the people in Iceland, they enjoyed really spirituals. So I would sing spirituals, and matter of fact, one of them wrote a song for me around the holidays, and we were able to come on base, and I told them the things that, the military, what we do. And it was just great, again, getting out in that community. So I tell those in the military, no matter where you are, no matter where you go, learn the language,
Right.
do
Yes.
something, and they will take you in.
So there's go ahead.
What language do they speak?
Yeah, that's
in
what I was
Iceland?
going to ask.
Icelandic.
Really?
And it's Icelandic language, and please don't ask me. The only one I remember is bless. And
Bless,
that-
okay.
Yeah, bless, and they throw 1,000 kisses at you or something.
Okay.
But
Oh, wow.
but it's a really a tough language, and it was certainly meant to be that way.
Right. Okay.
Look, no offense to Icelanders. That's tight though. You get to be called an Icelander.
Yes.
That's a pretty tight like background.
You know it's cold if they name your country with ice.
Ice, yeah, pretty much. But I heard that Iceland's really green and Greenland's really cold. So I
Really?
think Greenland is colder than Iceland.
Yes, that's so true.
Huh.
A lot of them desire to make sure that people don't come and take over Iceland.
Yeah.
They would say, well, this is much colder. Go to Greenland, where Greenland was really the one that you really wanted to stay away from, was much colder.
Wow.
But it's beautiful people there. And still today, I have some great friends because of it.
Look, I have a question.
Yes.
So growing up, I know that there were experiences I've had. Now, for you to be going the path you were going, and like you said, you were the only person of color that with your branch, I believe you said, right? And you were a woman at the same time. What type of adversity did you have to have in order to get? Were there any times that you needed to have, be on all 10? Or did anybody ever try to disrespect you, or was everybody calm, cool, and collected?
Well, I will say on some of the duty stations and places that I've been, especially as, African American woman and officer, sometimes you were the only one there. And sometimes you were the ones that are in leadership. And not until years later when I went to D.C., I saw other people in uniform that looked like myself. Although I knew that there were people out there, sometimes you're the only one in those places. So yes, when it talk about adversity and stuff, I remember at my first duty station, as I was actually walking, down the street there on base, and you can see others, Caucasian, that may have walked across the street. And I say that because then as soon as they passed me, then they went back across. So, not to make a salute.
Oh, wow.
But
okay.
but the thing about it is that I had no problem with doing what I need to. You have to have the confidence. You have to understand. You have to know who you are. And you can't let people put you where you think you should go.
Right.
You should be where you are. So all those were great opportunities to me. And I have friends regardless of the race or ethnicity. It doesn't matter. What matters is that taking care of the people in the right way. And that's what really made a difference to me.
Wow. Man, it made me want to go back there, and the people that cross the street, I would have been the one. Hey, take your going back across
Going
that
back
street
over there,
and
salute. Right.
Get your mind right.
Because I was talking to Miss Charm Reed,
Yes.
and I didn't realize that she was a lieutenant in the Army. And she was the one that enlightened me, and this was probably a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And she said that there were gentlemen, officers, or soldiers that would refuse to salute because she was female, because she was African American. And just to know, like you're kind of echoing what she said, for them to go as far as crossing the street.
Yes.
Just so that they don't have to give you the respect that you've earned. It just goes to show how far we've come.
Yes.
And the military has changed so much from then to now, to whereas when, like for instance, when I was in the Army, I was field artillery, and women weren't allowed in those MOSs.
Right.
Artillery, the infantry, and I think even cavalry. But fast forward to today, it's different. So what are your thoughts about how the military has changed to be more inclusive?
I think it has changed for the best in all of the services. The Army, Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force, and definitely in the Navy. Matter of fact, as I speak, we have, for the first time, a 4-star female in charge of all in the United States Navy. It's the Chief of Naval Operations, who's a female.
Wow.
Which is Admiral Franchetti.
Okay.
I'll tell you what's great about that is because now it's not just really about who you are or male or female. It's about who is capable to get the job done. That's why education is always going to be important. That's why I want every young girl and man, or regardless of where you are in life, that you can strive and you can thrive and do the best that you can if you put your mind and faith to it.
Right.
So yes, I think it's great. You're talking about there's women now flying with the Blue Angels. There's women on submarines. These are things that we could not do at one time. And I'm so glad to be a part of a team that really looks like America, because that's who we really are.
Right.
And we got to make sure that every job or every opportunity or every discipline, that if people have the courage, but if they have the know-how and the know-with to do so, they should be given every opportunity to lead.
Right.
And leadership is certainly important to me. And, starting off, rather if I had about 50 people that work for me to thousands that work for me, it was really a great opportunity because it was all about taking care of the people.
Right.
Because if you take care of the number one resources, those folks looked out and took care of me.
I have a question.
Yes.
Like, how did your leadership style develop throughout your career, and who were some of the key influences or mentors? Who were some of them?
Thank you. Well, first I'll say, starting off, my first engagement in leadership started right from home, from my grandmother.
Yes.
My great-grandmother that lived to be 105, from my mother. All of them had character and leadership, and were pillars in the community to do things and to make sure things can get done. So it was easy for me and my sister to at least be community activists and be out there to do things. So my influences start with folks like my mother, who's gone on to heaven, Captain Electa Andrews, who used to work with the Liberty County Sheriff Department years ago. Influencer is also my sister, Deborah Andrews Dawson, who is actually a registered nurse, retired now, but also contract out. We had Mrs. Jessie Anna Neely, who lived to be 105, and believe me, you had a lesson every day. I've had lessons, biblical lessons. I mean, I thought the lady was Moses that came back because she made sure that we knew the Bible and how to treat people and everything else. But those were some of the greatest influencers right in the beginning, just seeing the home and the people that I were around. And then you cultivate your leadership style. I saw leaders that, this is not going to be me. And I saw leaders that, wow, this is what I would emulate. And there were times when I said, if you take care of people, if you do the right thing, and that's what was so important to me. And there were methods to my leadership, of course, being authentic, being yourself. Because if you be yourself, show yourself, and let others do, they'll also do the same for you. The other part of leadership is also being a communicator, to be able to talk to people, to be able for them to also respond to you. So it has to work both ways. Communicate, coordinate, cooperate, and those things will help you with your leadership. And I was also the type of person that liked to be there. I remember one of the jobs I had, matter of fact, one of the last jobs in the Navy, was in charge of all of Navy's recruiting across the country. And that kept me busy. So we had thousands of wonderful sailors, civilian and military, and civilians and sailors and all. And I'll tell you, it was really great because my job, they did a fantastic work. And let me tell you, that is not the easiest. Getting and serving, because so much have changed. But they worked hard. So my job was to make sure that I go out and I see them and I thank them. To the 26 commanders across the nation in major cities, to about 1,500 stations. You can never get all the stations in, but I definitely got a chance to see all of my commanders just to thank them. And another job I think that helped me also with my leadership is when the Navy did give me some of the toughest jobs. I was also over all of the Navy boot camp, which is only one, up in Great Lakes. And being in charge of boot camp, you meet people from all over the country. They come in and you give them opportunities. Everybody can't serve for many reasons, but those that can serve and go on, that is just great. and you take them out of communities where maybe they weren't doing well. And some of those may have been, getting ready to go off to jail or prison. Some of them may not have decided to go to college. But whatever they did, you can have an opportunity in the military if that's what you desire. And the military is not for everyone.
Right.
And unfortunately, sometimes I have to send people home. When they come to me and said, please, because of certain things that may be in their record, it's like, I'm sorry, the only ship you're going to see is citizenship back in your hometown, because I want to do what's right, not only for the Navy and military, but also for the right for the person.
Right.
Man, do you understand what she ran?
I just saw thousands of people.
Exactly.
I just a sea of people that you were tasked with commanding and leading, and that's amazing. Like,
I gotta say something to our queens. We love you. Do you hear me? We love you, and we stand behind you. We stand beside you. We stand in front of you. We got you 360. And I know that the way that things are going in the world today, it can be very easily misconstrued. And I want y'all to know that's not the truth. The same way you see things that they put out there for you to see to influence you to think another way, remember what your reality is. Your reality is what you circle yourself with. I had to learn that, because I would have a whole different vision of who people were if I would have stayed around that same crowd.
Yeah.
Because energy is real. I mean, if you're around negative people, you're going to have negative events happen. But when you have someone as positive as Rear Admiral Dr. Annie Andrews, how can you go wrong, man? I remember you saying, you show me the 3 people that you're around the most, and I'll show you your future.
Yeah, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Having someone in your life like that, Queens, this is who you can emulate. You want to look for a mentor, look no further. It doesn't have to be an entertainer. It could be someone that is doing grassroots work. Someone that is really going to be involved with the community, involved with you, and also take that in to impart knowledge to you that would hopefully help fit your situation. Just understanding that there was over 1,500 bases, and I forget how many leaders, but she tried to go to the bases, y'all. Most leaders will sit back and be like, yeah, I'm just going to issue orders. You won't even get to see this person.
Right.
You'll never see this person.
See the picture.
Yeah, you'll see the picture. But them coming to actually see about you and to find out and to thank you, they're not coming for you to just, they're coming to tell you, hey, I appreciate the job you do. Now, check this out. If you don't do it better, you can go home. But just to see that and to know this information is just wonderful. I am in awe. What advice would you give to some young African American women aspiring to join the military or take leadership roles or take on leadership roles?
You took the question right out of my mouth, because it's free game. So
yeah, it's free game.
You got to give the people some free game.
Yes. Well, I will say whether it's African American women, it doesn't matter. Just women, period. Because I'm also about empowerment.
Yes.
To empower, to encourage, to engage, and also to elevate. Those are the things to help the next level. I would say the military is a great opportunity. I had no idea that I was going to stay in for 32 years. I figured, okay, I'll stay in a few and get out. But I did because, one, not only was it just a job, but I enjoyed what I did each and every day. I enjoyed the people that was entrusted to my leadership. I enjoyed even the challenge, that I had come across. But with those challenges also comes growth. And none of us have gone through life without having some sort of challenge or something. So I say to the women, one, and that's why even with my business under Andrews Consulting Enterprise, it's about encouraging, empowering, and making sure that women have the next opportunity also in life. How do they get on the C-suite? How do they get at the table? And sometimes you say, if they're not going to let you, as a male sitting to the table, some people say, bring your own. Bring your own chair. Well, instead of bringing your own chair, you be the leader at the table.
Right.
Everybody else can come around to do that too. So, and sometime too, when sitting around there, you have to make sure you stand up, sit up, speak up, and sometimes you may have to square up, to make sure you're able to be heard and get there in the most dignified way. And that's when you are respected and you can say exactly what you need to, unless people take you there.
Right.
And some of those, so you can understand where we're going. Now, let's talk about some of those awards. She has the Legion of Merit, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Joint Service Achievement Medal, also the 2013 Stars and Stripes Award for Leadership, 2015 Women of Color Lifetime Achievement Award, and trust me, the list goes on, because if you saw the wall, she also has an airstrip. Am I correct? Is it?
It's a what is known as a fix.
A fix.
Yes, it is known as a fix.
And what is a fix?
So what this is actually is that at the end, when I also, after the military, I had the opportunity to work with the Federal Aviation Administration, known as the FAA.
Okay.
So when I retired from there a couple of years ago, they put a fix, which actually is actually at the airport in Savannah, at the International Airport. So it is like the final approach place. So when the pilot comes in and he's getting ready to land, and of course you and I never understand exactly what they're saying, and then that's it, and we're landing. So on that particular strip, in that particular spot, they named one of those areas Annie, my first name. So that's just a fix on there. It's on runway 28. Someday I'm going to have to go there and point it out exactly where that is.
Well, look, no, we can fly you. 'Cause we're both getting our pilot's license.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
he's just way more advanced than I am at this
I'm
point.
take a couple pilot
That's
lessons.
wonderful.
Yes. And we can fly in there. 4.9
As you can see, even I have a long way to go because I didn't know what a fix was.
Hey, that's okay.
I know how to get the plane in the air.
There you got it.
I haven't quite learned how to land it yet.
That's the most important thing. I believe.
Landing.
Because what goes up have to come
It
down.
will come
and
down.
you want to have as many landings, as many takeoffs as landings.
landings.
There you go.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I know that's right. Lord, I didn't think about. I need to get my license.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna fly with you. Rear Admiral Andrews, it started in 1983, and I think your naval station was Whiting Field in Florida, like you had said before.
Yes.
Now, from you going from right here in Georgia to Florida, I remember that face. You was like, I could walk there. Were there some big moments there that guided your career to where you're at now?
Well, I would say with starting off, it was just a tremendous opportunity. It's not like I was too terribly far from home, but yet you still wanted to. But I think it was the people. It's like, what's next? Okay, I did this successfully. What's next? So then they sent me to Hawaii, and I said, you know what? I'm going to love this Navy. This is really great. Hawaii, so that's where everybody. And then they sent me to Iceland, and I said, what did I do for everything?
Right.
So, it's just depending on the duty stations. And then from Iceland, went to the Philippines.
Okay.
And I said, here we go again. I felt like I was going to be in a magazine for geographical, across the U.S.
Right.
But all of that from there, several tours in D.C., and seemed like I've been to every major part of the city. And all of that has just been great. So everything, I would say, just helped me to the next. And you never know what's going to happen, what you're going to do, but it's the people that really kept me going. The people that I work with, the people that worked for me, the people that I worked for, all of those are just tremendous asset. And I also saw in so many faces people desiring, coming from areas where they may not have had an opportunity, and rising through the ranks, which I would say was just a wonderful opportunity. I never thought of even reaching the rank of admiral or rear admiral. Just never thought. And I am certainly blessed to be the third African American female in the over 250 years of the Navy to make it. And we only have 4 as of this date, and I'm number 3. So there's still a lot more to go. But I know that we're going to get there. We're going to get there because people will continue to strive. We're going to continue to do well, and we're just waiting on what's next. Because there's someone that's out there, someone that's listening, can be our female president.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
someone that's listening could be the next admiral or general. Someone's listening could be that educator. You know, could be in the Supreme Court. We have examples already ahead of us.
Right.
All we have to do is make sure that we get them through
Yes.
and to the next goal,
Right.
and encourage them, encourage our young boys and girls, encourage them all, and encourage those that may have had to give up some of their lifestyle so that they can have their children and grow. I can
Hallelujah.
tell you now, it's still the opportunity. I don't care if you're 30, 50, 60, there's still people out there
Yes.
that desiring to get their degrees, and now to have that opportunity because now maybe their children are grown. So I just say we sit back, we see what's next, and we try to put our foot forward in doing things.
Right.
Yes.
And just to put it in perspective, because, you know, like I said, most of these people that listen are Army or grew up Army. A rear admiral is equivalent to like a general?
A brigadier general, yes.
Gotcha. So it's like when you retire, does the military ever really let you really retire when you make that high of a rank?
That's
you
what I
know,
was gonna
because it's
say.
not too many of y'all, and
Yes.
that's a wealth of knowledge.
Yes. Well, you do retire because you have to move on so that somebody else will have that opportunity. But there's also reach back.
Okay.
So there also reach back, and believe me, I know every time when there's either a time for people to advance, because I either get a call or somebody find me on every social media that you can think of, even ones I didn't even know I was on.
Right.
But they reach out to you because I have no problem because of the great work they may have done for me, and because of things, I
Right.
still write letters of recommendations.
Okay.
I've still helped them look at their evaluations or fitness reports and see what I can do to help. Although I'm on the outside, if I
Yes.
can't, then I know somebody that's probably still serving.
Right.
And how can I help you? Because that's what it's back. You know, and I say that to women and to everybody else. When you reach up, reach back and pull forward.
Yes.
Pull that next person up. And that's what I desire to do. So when they reach out to me, I'm like, okay, what can I do? Sometimes it gets a lot because I'm still on the road a lot of times,
Yeah.
you know, with traveling and back and forth. So that's why I said it was a great week. I didn't have to travel. I'm
Right.
here, and I'm here with such kings.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We're honored.
Very honored. The consulting firm, Andrew's consulting firm.
Yes.
I've got to get that out there. What exactly, or what is your consulting,
The mission.
the mission?
Thank you. Thank you so much. So Andrews Consulting Enterprise, LLC, is when I started, because after I retired twice, apparently I'm not good at,
see that?
retiring. So, you know, you still have some energy in you, so I still want to do things. So because as a human resource strategist, you know, working and dealing with people that have issues, you know, with manpower, have issues trying to get people to work together, having those type things. Also, I'm an executive coach. So
Okay.
therefore, you're talking about helping people get to that next level when they're dealing with issues themselves, help them see a way for them to move forward. The other thing with Andrews Consulting is being a listener, you know, helping women, because in particular, whether women or young men or of any age, that feel that they have lost some confidence, that they feel that they can't come to the table, that feel as though that, hey, there's nobody listening to me. My job is really to encourage them, enlighten them, and hopefully get them to know that let's elevate you to what you can be, because there's a lot that you can do.
Okay. And do you deal with primarily civilian businesses now as far as consulting?
It can be civilian, it can be government, it can be military. Whoever calls, and you know, some of the clients that I have, you know, that I can talk through coaching. So those are one-on-one. I also worked with a couple of colleges, you know, to talk with them, you know, because sometimes there's talk about communication. And, you know, with the environment now, you see a lot of people are continuing, like myself, I'm sure, you know, retired twice, but getting back into the workforce. So helping people get through a generational, because sometimes people that may be a little older don't know how to respond to people that are younger coming in. And we all have to work together to get things done.
Okay.
And speaking of that, we have our own, we have a consultant also. His name is King Brooks. He's a part of an organization that
You might have came across him at some point.
yeah, at some point you probably saw a black ops helicopter land, and you hop off, and you're like, "Who is this guy? He looks like a computer analyst, but he's not. He's really not." And to back up some of these things, folks out there, listen to me. Her education. I mean, when she started, she was already at the top of the list. All right, she graduated in 1977 from Philadelphia High School for girls. It was a public magnet school, and academically gifted student. Understand that, gifted. All right,
I can see it.
and she also graduated from Savannah State University with a bachelor's in criminal justice.
Okay.
This was before earning her master's degree in management from Troy State. During her military career, she earned an additional master's degree. Additional, you hear that? Additional
Right.
master's degree, and in national security and strategy studies.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds major.
yeah, it really is. Okay, now, and also the strategic studies was from the Naval War College. She's also an honorary doctorate of humane letters from Wilson College. Now you top that, bro. You top that.
Look, them shoes, I ain't stepping in them.
Exactly. And the heels. So you know you wobbling.
And the heels.
Yeah. I mean, look how. Wow. Just the sheer fact of you doing all of those things. How did you find the time? like seriously. All you could have been joking, you could have been partying, you could have been out there doing anything, but you found it to be important for you to focus in on these things. And there's a lot of distractions now. I know that there were distractions back then, and yes, we could say now there's more distractions, but whatever was a distraction to us when we were younger, whether it be your 20s, 30s, it doesn't matter. You still follow that distraction. How did you stay so focused?
Well, I would say you just keep in line. I remember, especially when I was in Philadelphia, I thought I was probably in church. I think I was in 7 days a week. Because even on the weekends, my grandparents would certainly make sure that I take a part in everything. So I must tell you, when I left here, 7th grade was my last school year here. I went to 8th grade. And I'll tell you, when you leave the South and go up north, they automatically think you, oh my God, you're slow. We're going to put you back, those type things. So therefore, they tested me. And when they did, it was good enough to not even go to the school that I was going to that was near where I lived. But then that's when they sent me to girls' high. Okay. Now, I must admit to you, I didn't know this was going to be an all-girls school. Because if so, I probably would have tried to flunk some of those tests that they gave me. They didn't let me know that.
She said, I will see y'all.
But anyway, I must say, I am grateful for having that opportunity to go to the Philadelphia High School for Girls. Matter of fact, Jill Scott was there.
Oh, wow.
Yes, the infamous actor and singer. She wasn't there during the time. I'm older. But she just recently went back to Girls High to say hi to the students. There was a number of people that graduated from there that, even after me and before me that have done well.
So the school's still around?
Oh, yes. The school.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not that old.
No,
Yeah,
things
hey, man,
change.
You better
Budgets
chill out.
change.
Let me say budgets.
Things do change, but no, the school is still around.
Okay, because my junior high school is no longer around.
Right. Yeah. Some of them, no. Yeah. We always, because some of them, they do change.
Yeah.
But I would say, with those type things, you just have the opportunity. You just stay disciplined.
Right.
Discipline, continue to do. If your heart is there, because you're right, there's a lot of distractions for young people today.
Yes.
So I just want them to know that stay focused, stay engaged, stay encouraged. Even when sometimes you fail, things don't always go your way. And if so, you just dust off. And there's so many things they say about failure, if that's how you take it. To me, it's an opportunity to excel. And also, it's a stepping stone to success.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, I mean, we all, things that may not have gone our way right away. But boy, if you keep your eyes on the prize, as they say, and just move forward, it will happen for you.
Speaking of that, can you share a story of a particular challenge situation where you faced it and you overcame it?
Well, thank you. Yes, I would say the biggest thing is that making sure how you have people that are under you, taking care of them, and making sure they are doing all the things they need to. And a lot of times, too, when you have leadership, you have to do the disciplinary actions. That was never easy for me because, you want everybody to do well, you want to do well, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So you have to discipline them and understand that everybody is not the same.
Right.
And when you listen to their story, hear them out, and then when you put upon them what you have to, because again, it's about good order and discipline, then they understand. But one thing, whenever I had to do that, I always talk with the individuals. Even afterwards, I see about them because they are still human and they are still needed. And they still, it may not work for them there, but it could along the way. Right. So my biggest challenge is making sure that even though I have to do some things, that people understand the why and overcome it, and just put that as a mark of, hey, I'm going to succeed and I'm going to still do well.
Right.
How do you hope your career has influenced the Navy and future generations of service members?
Thank you so much for that. I hope that what I've done and the many years that I've served will be an example for others to come and to know that they can do the same. Do the same and even better. Those list of things, like I said, I am grateful for everything, but a child of God is the best name and best thing that I can have. So I am so humbled and I'm so grateful. And I want others to know that you can do the same and even more. So as I said, reach out, reach up, and reach back and pull someone forward.
That's right.
And if they can do that, then I'm certainly all for it and would help as many as I can. Because there is so much life out there and so much to give. And I hope everybody have that opportunity, because it's not just keep a secret to yourself. It's what we can do for the next. Because we all have but so much on this earth that we can do. So now it's time for that generation. Folks like my nephew, D'Angelo, I want him to do well, and for many others to continue that.
Speaking of D'Angelo, there's another person that wanted to give you the love and the respect that you are well deserved of. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna play that clip. I'm gonna pause the music for y'all. We're gonna play that clip right now.
My sister Annabelle Andrews, who lives next door to me, is a compassionate, giving, caring, lovable, smart, humble, and wonderful person. As a child, she would always say, I will pay someone or have someone cook for me. Well, in her career in the Navy over 30 years, she was able to manage just that. Now that she's retired, we live next door to each other, and I call her my neighbor because we have what we call a bread and breakfast compound, because she sleeps at her house and she eats at mine. She is the best sister a girl could ever have. Love you, lady.
As you can see,
Oh wow, that's another surprise from my sister.
yes.
And we're 4 years apart. She's older, but wow.
She threw that out there quick. That's my older sister, y'all.
I'm taller. Everyone thought I was probably the oldest because I was always the one away. But no, she is, and she has my heart as well as we share my nephew and my brother-in-law. All of them are just really great. Our family is small but loving, and it is so true. I believe she also mentioned something that I may sleep at my house, but Lord knows I go over to eat at her house. breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have spoiled me. I mean, really, as grown as I am now, I remember it was one Sunday morning she came over and I had breakfast in bed, right from her house to mine. I was like, you know what? I love it here. I'm not the cook now, understand. There's some things I don't do well. But I can tell you, if you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
that's it.
You're looking at the pro, the best ever. Smooth, creamy, with the right jelly and fresh bread. I can do that. So it's not talents everywhere, I must admit. It's not.
Look, it's not a problem.
So out of your countless accolades and achievements, you've managed to also join the illustrious Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority.
Yes.
One that my wife and now my daughter is a part of.
Yes.
What inspired you to go down that path?
Wow, thank you so much. Yes, I am a proud member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And I am definitely a member of the New Rho Omega here in Liberty County. And I will tell you, I was inspired by none other but my sister.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
She's certainly definitely an AKA, and it's like if your sister is or your mom is, you want to be one too. And she definitely inspired. But what inspired me was the things that I saw her do in the community. The helping, the service, the giving back, the commitment, the dedication. That takes time besides having your family and running your household and working a full-time job. So that was easy. And you're right. It's so wonderful to share that with so many of my other sorority sisters, that are out there doing things in the community. I must admit, one of those programs that I chair is called Empower Our Families. And our Power Our Families is all about giving back and helping families in the community. And I'll just go through quickly, at least those 4 programs. But understand, what we do here in the community does a lot with the environment. We also look out for enhancing our community, which, believe me, with Sarah Kamara. We also do things, of course, definitely with financial education, because all that's important in this community. So at mine in particular, and thank you so much for asking about it, because that's really at my heart. One of the programs there that falls under this administration of the Alpha Kappa Alpha is called the CHIP program. Okay. It stands for Childhood Hunger Initiative Power Pack.
Oh, wow.
And what we did was actually adopted a school in Riceboro. And it's actually the Riceboro Head Start.
Okay.
And every Friday, without fail, or certainly when schools are in, we take a backpack of food for the children. Now, we know that Monday through Friday, not a problem, they're there, but we just don't know. Look at the cost of food. Look at things so much for the parents. So we're able to do that, and I'm proud to say that we also partnered with United Way, and United Way also do some supplements to that. But that's a part of things we do, and we can't wait till schools start back again, because not only do we have to purchase and, and get those things together and also distribute. Another one of those programs is called the Youth Leadership Institute. And went marvelous again, this year, where we work with kids between the ages of 10 to 13 years old. And instead of us, how young people want to tell you what to do. So instead of us saying, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, we let them lead. Because what we're trying to do is build an integrity and have them be leaders. So we're looking at our future leaders. So these are more of the developmental age. And we meet with them once a month, for a couple of hours after school. Then we have our seniors, because, so look at Empower Our Families. You're talking about the children. You're talking about, those preteen, and now our seniors. We can't forget about them. Yes. Whether it's getting them out to vote or helping with things that they can and looking out for their best interests. And last but not least, which is important across the board, is mental health awareness.
Yes.
For all ages. We have a group there that gives it out. But I understand, this is not just Annie Andrews by herself. There's a team of wonderful, strong women that are out there in these different organizations that are doing things across.
Wow.
With everything that's going on now, I know you guys recognize the hunger. We recognize that things are going up in cost. as far as you see how families are headed, as far as the structures, what do you think there'll be a turning point to where we'll come back together unified because of all of the distractions?
We can only hope and pray that we do. And, as we tell our children and as they grow up, we can only hope that they may do differently with their family, different from when you and I grew up. When you and I grew up, everybody, the teachers didn't have a ruler, or, you did the prayers in school. We did the Pledge of Allegiance, and that was unity right there, because we had something to look for and up to. Those things are taken out of school for many reasons. But I say it still starts at home. It has to start at home and in your own home. I'm not saying things are going to be perfect, and families are different so much these days. But regardless of what, is what we put in and how we take out of it, which makes us stronger and want to do those things. So I think, we just have to keep going. There's so many things that you hear on TV. I mean, if you watch the news, you get so disappointed. So yeah, I enjoy watching. I watch all the news. But then I have to think about, okay, what the perception, what is out there, and where do we need to go next?
Right.
Yes. And that's something that we've been talking about for a while now. Where do we go next? And I got to dive off into this because I want to see unity. I want to see unity. I want to see love. I want to see compromising. I want to see accountability. I want to see all of those things, because all those things together really created this that you see here. Because in order for you to even have a vision, it takes a lot of things to be in place. Because a lot of people wouldn't have the faith in it. And people day by day are losing the understanding of what faith is. Faith is something that you what is it? Faith is the things that's not. I don't want to misquote because my mind's going 100 miles per minute. But the Bible. I do know faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
So that's the part, the works part. A lot of people lose that grasp or they give up. And you are just the very standard, if not least the highest standard of not giving up and pushing forward. With so many things that were against you, whether knowingly or unknowingly, it was just in the way you gracefully handled it. I mean, 32 years of service, and you're still serving. You don't get it. When she's at church, she's a rear admiral. Understand this, and a doctor. All right, rear admiral, doctor, rear admiral. And to see how she interacts with her elders, she takes care of her family.
Right.
All right. When I see her, man, I sit there and she's pushing the wheelchair. And I'm like, oh, no, I got to get the door. I need to help her. And that wheelchair heavy, bro. It caught me off guard one time. I thought I was buck strong, right? It's heavy, isn't it? I said, no, it's not heavy at all. But to take care of family, because a lot of people, once they get to a certain position, they forget where they come from, man.
They lose that humility.
Yes. And none of that.
Right.
You don't get any of that. She's very approachable, willing to help, and it's just amazing.
Thank you so much. And when you were talking about the lady in the wheelchair, is my aunt Catherine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's my aunt. She's 89 years young, and just and what is interesting about her, and you learn so much, and that's when you learn to be so humble. She's deaf.
Yes.
Okay.
And just to know the care, the things that she don't hear or don't see that may be on TV, but her heart is so loving. She loved children and being around them and things of the sort. And she loves you too, Mark.
Yeah, she just don't like my beard.
There you go. I was going to mention that. The other day, I think you can get this in any sign language. She looked.
Yes.
I said, please leave Mark alone.
You want him to cut it.
I said, I couldn't. You couldn't hide that sign language at all.
No. I was like, but it took me so long to grow, though. I think I look good with my beard. I don't like my face when it's not. You know,
That might be why you be so hot. You got all that around your neck. You need to.
see.
I'll just,
See, we was
I'll just
good.
make sure in church and Sunday I'll tell Aunt Catherine.
Exactly.
I just look the other way, like, please, Auntie. Don't.
Look, I want to know why you trying to throw shade on my beard because you can't grow one.
Well, look, I'm good, but I'm not hot though.
See how you go.
I could drink to that.
Look, Queen Andrews, we would like to first present you with your crown.
Oh yeah.
So, on my show, we have never crowned a queen.
Wow.
Today, I would like to crown you, please, if you would so accept.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I thank you.
1 second, King Boston.
Yes, sir.
As the United Kings of Black Kings, I bring before you a queen that the highest measure. One that we will be proud of as a role model, also a mentor,
Yes.
and already a leader. I would like to make a motion to crown Queen Dr. Rear Admiral Andrews.
I second that motion.
It is seconded. It was motioned and seconded that today we crown Queen Andrews.
Oh, right. Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So
And it fits perfect.
and it
Wow.
fits perfect.
Even with the headphones.
Also, since I presented
Oh,
that, Mitch, if you would present her.
We would also like to present to you, Queen, your roses.
oh, this
Yes.
is so beautiful. Thank you.
In your colors.
In your colors.
I'm
yes.
telling you, I don't know why you guessed the pink and green, but it's here. It's definitely.
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
it's what I wore too.
And
as
it
well,
matched
so-
and it matched the blouse.
Yes.
Oh, this is so wonderful, gentlemen.
Yes, ma'am.
King, thank you.
Yes,
You know,
Thank
I'll
you.
just say, you know, even with this podcast it took a while before I can get here, but I thank you so much for your persistence and for allowing me this time. I think it's a great thing that you're doing. If we can get the message out to here in Liberty County and someone from here, and you can get the message out across America of doing good, of being the best that you can, then it is certainly well worth it. So again, I appreciate this honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm embarrassed because I'm not exactly sure what to do. I'm a person that's really more in the background in so many ways.
Right.
And believe it or not, I'm an introvert, although people don't see that. But I thank you and I appreciate it so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for this
Yes.
community, for mankind,
Yes.
and for the military.
Thank you.
Is a wonderful, wonderful feeling, man. Because you're still being humble. You're like I understand. I'm honored that you're here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you say, you play the background, but your background is more like the coach. That means that no plays, nothing will be run without you. That's how important it is, introvert or not.
Right.
Because when you're sitting there and you're observing, that's what introverts normally they observe. Because I'm not talking to you, I don't know how you, but they're scanning the field.
Right.
Now, wouldn't you want that person scanning the field, especially about your protection?
Right.
Even the members of the armed services, I could just imagine how relieved they were. They are really, to be
Yeah.
honest, to know that they had such a great leader. I mean, people talk junk because you can't please everyone. But even the ones that talk junk, they feel comfortable. It's like, yeah, but I wouldn't want nobody else there. Because
Right, right.
you meet a lot of incompetent people that are
Yeah.
places.
Oh yeah.
So to really see someone that is flourishing and still flourishing, and don't forget, it is the consulting, is Andrews Consulting
Consulting
Enterprise.
Enterprise, yes.
Yes, LLC. Would you like to talk or give them some information on how to contact you on that, if you don't mind?
Thank you so much. Definitely, you can actually look me up through LinkedIn, or you can put in www and Google Andrews Consulting Enterprise.
Okay. Now, also, we got to give a shout out to Magnum Pest Control. Magnum Pest
Yes.
Control, he said this is the busiest
Oh, yeah.
season because it's hot. You can reach him from 18444 Magnum 1. And also yours truly, King Condor, Mark Mosley, the People's Champ in the building. Your houses is my priority. So if you want to buy, sell, or also just get a list on how much you think your house is, give me a call at 912-532-9850. Now, we're coming to the end of the show, but right now, we have to give out our free game and also our message to the people out there that's watching, because I appreciate every king and queen out there looking now. I appreciate Paula Robinson, Gary Richardson, James Brook. Hey, Miss Auntie Andrew Dawson. We even have D'Angelo in the building. He's watching right now. But I just want to thank you guys. And we're going to give you with our last message. And we're going to start with the Honorable Dr. Rear Admiral Annie Andrews. And I have to say the title, but she's a title in herself. Her name rings bells without the titles.
Yes.
And that's when you know you have a true queen. Is there anything you'd like to tell people? That's your camera right there, if you want to speak to the people?
Thank you. First, for those that are watching, thank you so much for being here. I know there's many things that you can be listening to and seeing today, especially on a Saturday. I thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm here just to wish you well. If there's something I can do for you, you know that I would, either through Andrew's Consulting Enterprise. But really what I want to say today is to be who you are and be the best of who you are. And those of you that can give back to this wonderful community. As so much I have said by even Commissioner Donald Lovett, I am certainly Liberty County proud to be from here. No matter where I've been and how long I've gone, I'm back to really want to do good for the community. So thank you. God bless you. And remember, of all the titles, there's nothing more than important to me to being a humble child of God. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Before you go, King Boston, King Brooks wants to say thank you for coming. He very enjoyed the show, and he thirded that motion.
Oh yeah, okay. So we have a quorum.
We have a quorum, yes.
Okay.
King Myers is across the street. He just had a newborn.
Oh, great.
He sent his love also.
Thank you.
And Chris Reed is watching. He was on there. Chief, what's going on? King Boston, what do you have to tell to the people? Don't forget to tap that like button, everyone, and share.
Oh yeah. Wow. For one, again, thank you for just taking time out of your busy schedule to come on this podcast and just share your wisdom and your experiences to our listeners and to us as well. It brings me great joy and honor to know that there are women. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I wasn't familiar with the Greek fraternities and sororities until I witnessed my daughter become an AKA, and it took a while for me to really comprehend what was going on. I mean, my wife, she would explain it to me, but to actually see the process, it just brings me so much joy to know that my daughter has women such as yourself to look up to, and that have already paved the way in so many aspects, that I'm honored, and that just your sacrifice throughout the years. I mean, to see it all come to fruition, I'm just blessed to even be in your presence.
Thank you.
When the first time I came across who the Rear Admiral Annie Andrews was.
Doctor,
Queen, doctor, child of God.
Yes.
Everything. Newly crowned queen. I mean, everything was at our banquet for the 11 black men of Liberty County. And if I'm not mistaken, you were our first female speaker.
Yes.
And initially, when they mentioned who was going to be the speaker, I was like, who is that? Mm-hmm. But Chairman Donald Lovett,
yes,
Andrew Williams, Robert Bell. They all educated me real
Hey,
quick.
put him in his place.
They was like, first of all, sir, like this you gonna put respect on her name. Like I was like, okay, say no more. And then I don't remember exactly what you said. I'm gonna be honest,
Right,
but
right.
I never forgot you. I always remember. I was like, wow, she has to be awesome, because usually the only people that would come up as speakers were men, and for them to think that much of you, it just said a lot about who you were and your character.
Thank you.
And I haven't heard anyone say anything other than fabulous remarks about you, and I think that just speaks volumes for who you are as a person.
Thank you so much.
So that's all.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Oh, gee. Well, I have to say this. Kings and Queens, we're amongst a trailblazer. And a trailblazer on the highest level. That even though she says she played the background, she ran the whole play. She wrote the playbook. And she showed us how successful you can be if you're focused, you're a child of God, and you put the determination where your mouth is. I'm honored, as you already know. I don't even have to tell you. You know how honored I am. And I appreciate you coming today.
Thank you.
And I thank everyone for watching. And if you don't get anything from today's episode, know that it doesn't matter if you came from Liberty County, if you came from Osceola, Georgia, or Willacoochee, Georgia,
Or Brooklyn.
or Brooklyn. You can do it. You can do it. And I also I want you guys to follow us on YouTube, Black Kings Free Game. Hit that subscribe button. We will be having Black Kings and Queens After Dark coming up soon. So I want you guys to get some more of that free game, and hopefully I can get Dr. Admiral Andrews, to come back on the show, especially at Queen After Dark episodes, so we can get into some more topics.
Right.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would be honored.
Yes, our queen. Kings and Queens, we appreciate you so much for watching. This is Black Kings Free Game, and we're here, and guess what? We're out!